Hello and welcome. I'm Shane Malach from IMimpact.com, and this is the supplemental video to my automatic backlink building software roundup review. So let's dive right in and look at the software products that we're comparing in this roundup. We've got SIG Submitter by SIG Marketing, then we've got SEO Link Robot, then we've got Rank Builder 2.0, then of course SENuke X, then there's also a Magic Submitter, and Article Marketing Robot, which is a bit of an odd one out here, and I'll get back to that in a minute. And then there's SERP Assist. So these are the competing products in no particular order, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through a process of elimination. So I'm going to first tell you which of these products I don't recommend and why. First up, Rank Builder 2.0. On the one hand, Rank Builder seems a bit messy. The whole user interface, I wasn't very happy with how the product is put together with the user interface, also with the members area and the downloads and the instructions and so on. The whole thing just seems, makes the impression that it's a bit unpolished, a bit rough around the edges, much more so than with the competing products. Most importantly though, there's a pricing problem. Rank Builder 2.0 costs $77 a month, and it's clearly less powerful than, for example, Magic Submitter, which actually costs $10 less per month. So you can get Magic Submitter for $67 a month, and as long as Magic Submitter is available for $67 a month, there's absolutely no reason to be spending more money on a weaker tool like Rank Builder 2.0, and with that, it's eliminated. Alright, next up we've got SEO Link Robot. Now SEO Link Robot, there's actually nothing wrong with this. It's a solid piece of software. The only real big downside of it is that it has a very limited list of link targets. So it's very limited in how many links it can actually build for you, or rather in how many links from how many different sources, from how many different websites it can actually build for you. This is a pretty strong limitation compared to the other tools, and it also brings with it a pricing problem of sorts, because SEO Link Robot costs $57 a month, and for just $10 more you can once again go for Magic Submitter, and it's just clearly the better tool. It's clearly more powerful, and I'd say it's definitely worth spending $10 a month extra to get all of the extra features that Magic Submitter has, and with that, SEO Link Robot is also eliminated. Then next up we have SERP Assist, which is actually a very similar situation to SEO Link Robot. Just to say, it's a very promising product. It's technologically great. It's really well done. It's very highly automated. However, it only builds a very small amount of different links from different sites when it comes right down to it, and that's a pretty severe limitation, which again brings with it a pricing problem. SERP Assist costs $97 a month, and you can simply get the same kind of thing or something better for the same kind of money or less. So your money is better spent on competing products, and with that, SERP Assist is also eliminated. Now, the tool I want to mention next is Article Marketing Robot, and as I mentioned before, this is not exactly the same as all of the other competing products. You have to be aware that Article Marketing Robots does articles only, but it does that really well. It submits articles to various sites that accept articles and builds links that way, but it doesn't do any of the other stuff that the other submitters do. It doesn't do social bookmarking, it doesn't do forum profiles and RSS feeds and all of that other stuff that some of the other products do. Then again, it's the only product that's available for a one-time price, and a pretty low one at that. It costs only $80, and it's absolutely worth that. And to me, Article Marketing Robot, even if you're using one of the other tools, is a very nice addition. I personally bought it and use it even alongside other tools. So I give it my stamp of approval. I give it a recommendation. Article Marketing Robot, even though it's not quite on par with the other software, and it shouldn't be confused with that. You have to be aware that this is a good piece of software, but it's not exactly equivalent to something like SENuke. But it is a nice addition to add to your backlink building arsenal. Now, with all that out of the way, we're left with three more candidates. We have SIG Submitter, we have Magic Submitter, and we have SENuke X. Now, one of the big differences, the very noticeable differences between these three tools is the price. SIG Submitter will cost you $20 a month. Magic Submitter will cost you $67 a month, and SENuke X has the hefty price tag of $147 a month. So we have a very clear progression in price here, going from 6 Submitter to SENuke X. And the question is then, of course, is the price justified? Is Magic Submitter better than 6 Submitter and SENuke X better than both of them? And that is not quite the case, or I guess it depends on how you look at it. So then the question will be, okay, does the progression go from, this builds a lot of links, Magic Submitter builds more links, and SENuke X builds the most links? Is that how the pricing is justified? And that's not it either. It doesn't work like that either. There is, though, a justification or a sense to this pricing, and the key to it is the ease of use of the tools, or the automation, the level of automation each tool gives you. So there we definitely have this kind of progression where 6 Submitter is the most difficult tool to use, the most complex tool, and SENuke X is the easiest to use, the most straightforward, and Magic Submitter sits somewhere in between. And you can argue that ease of use and automation is worth money in that sense, and that the pricing is in a sense justified by this factor. In fact, I think there is a rather fitting comparison to be made, which is the following. 6 Submitter is a bit like Linux as an operating system. Magic Submitter in this comparison would be like Windows, and SENuke X would be like Apple, or in this case, the Apple operating system, the Mac operating system. And what I mean by that is that with Linux as well as with 6 Submitter, you have a lot of customization you can do. You can, and it's kind of for geeky people, and programmers are bound to love it, because you can customize every aspect of it. You have very, down to a very granular level, very exact control over exactly what the software does and so on. Then with Magic Submitter, it's easier to use. It's more mainstream, you could say. But it still gives you a certain amount of control, and it's still more complicated than SENuke. That would be Mac OS, where Mac OS is the most polished of the solutions. It's kind of the nicest looking. But it's also the most constrained. It's the one that gives you the least amount of control. And this is true of SENuke X. It's very easy to set up. It's very easy to get going. It does everything it does out of the box. But you're rather constrained. You can't really customize it that much, and there are some aspects where you really don't have much control over what exactly the software does and how it does it. So I know that a comparison like this might be hitting some nerves for some people, and it's not the perfect analogy, but I think you can see, or maybe this translates kind of what it means by saying that SIG marketing is the most complex but the most customizable, and SENuke X is the most polished and the most streamlined, and Magic Submitter is somewhere in between. In my opinion, this is actually very, very relevant, because we have to be very real about this for a second. In theory, you can say, it doesn't matter. I can get 6 Submitter for just $20 a month, and I can customize it, I can scrape my own link targets, I can do all that stuff and turn it into a super powerful backlink building tool, right? In theory, yes, absolutely. But in real life, how easy a tool is to use and how streamlined it is and so on does have a very real impact on how much use you're actually going to make of it. In short, SENuke X is, while it is the most expensive tool, it's also the one that you're most likely to actually use, because there's really nothing to it. It's so easy to start up and create a campaign and set that up to run for the next few days. There's absolutely no, even if you're lazy and you're really busy with other stuff, you'll still be using SENuke X if you own it. On the other hand, 6 Submitter is the most likely to be gathering dust somewhere on your hard drive. It's the most likely one of the three that you'd install with good intentions, but then you're just too busy with other stuff or too distracted by other stuff to actually get around to spending the hours upon hours necessary to really set it up, to really get it going as a very powerful link building tool. So with that said, let's move on to my conclusion and recommendations. SIG marketing, or 6 Submitter rather, I can give a tentative recommendation. Basically, use 6 Submitter if you're a Linux user, or equally, something equally geeky. If you're really into, getting your hands dirty with customization and getting your own backlinks and doing all of that manual work to set the tool up, then you'll like 6 Submitter. If not, then you won't. If you're not very technically savvy, a 6 Submitter is probably just going to be frustrating, and you have to be aware that yes, this can be a powerful link building tool, but right out of the box, it does almost nothing. Then, number 2, SENuke X, I can absolutely recommend this. Use this for maximum automation and time saving. So this is, among all the tools, the one that will cost you the least amount of time to work with. It's the most automated, it's the most straightforward, and even if you're not a techie person, you can use this probably without even reading any instructions. It's really very, very simple. So I can absolutely recommend SENuke X. Of course, it can be a budgeting problem, and I don't recommend that you spend money on something that you don't have. So, you know, if $147 a month is simply not inside your budget, then do not buy SENuke X. That should be clear. And then finally, we have Magic Submitter, and this gets my value award because Magic Submitter is a very powerful tool. It comes very close to SENuke X in how automated it is and in how much it can do. And in fact, it can build a few more different types of links that SENuke X doesn't build. At the same time, it is very customizable, and at $67 a month, it's just a really, really good value. And it's definitely, out of this roundup, this is the best money you can spend in terms of bang for your buck. Magic Submitter is the one to go with. So that's my conclusion. I hope this was useful for you. I'm Shane Malach from IMimpact.com, and remember, you can go to IMimpact.com to read my full roundup review, as well as the individual reviews and videos I made for each of these tools.